Okay, so this will be my first video tutorial thingamabobbo. Yeah, I was going to do Natsu Dragneel from Fairy Tail, but since I am working on one for Animaka, I thought I'd show you how to do it. Anyway, so yeah, this is a happy cosplay, so yeah. Now, first off, we begin with design. I designed mine in my little book, which you won't be able to see, but as you can see, I've got wings, and all I'm really wearing is just a t-shirt, shorts, ears, and tail and shoes, and you know. Now, first off, I'm going to show you how I did the tail. So there are a lot of tutorials, but for a cat it's a slight bit different because the tails are usually longer but shorter hair. So I started off with the little plait that everyone begins with. I'll put a link in the bottom to tell you how to do that with another cosplay or something. I started off with doing white. So all you do really is that you get dog brush and you get your yarn, and then you tie it all together and you brush it out on a book. Don't do it on the table because it leaves marks, and oh boy, my mum killed me. So yeah, that's all you do. You start off with this, then you cut off one end, or you could leave that, but I recommend not to, and then you tie all these together. Now, I already started with the white, so you do the white at the bottom. If you've seen Happy's Tail, you understand why. And then you go along with the blue. So I used something a little bit different to like a cotton. It's more like a yarn, and it feels a little bit more story. I used this one solely because it looked a little bit more like cat fur, not like a wolf fur. The difference between a cat tail and a wolf tail is the cat tails are longer with shorter hair, so when you're making these, make sure they're about your hand size. Mine's a lot smaller, so you know, keep that in mind. But if you have to cut it a little bit, then that's fine. I mean, okay, so next I got some fingerless gloves and stitched on little bits of felt, and I got the kids size and it only just fits me, so don't do that. But the reason I stitched it on was when I initially fabric glued it on, the edges started coming off, so it's really easy. Yeah, I'll show you. Now, for the sizes of the little paws, or whatever you want to call them, use the felt, and I used Aussie 5-cent coin, which is pretty small, but that's for my hand size. And then for the sole bit, I just used my body art paint, and that fit my hand pretty well. Obviously it's going to change if you've got bigger hands and all that sort of stuff, but all you do is you put it on and then you draw it on either with a grey lead. Grey leads are really hard to see, especially on black felt, but what I used was like a nail whitening pencil, and the reason I used that was because, well, it's white and also it comes off really easily on the felt. So yeah. Now, just a quick tip for when you're trying to shape this properly. What I did after I cut it out, it was kind of a bit of a draft, and then what you do is you put the coin over the top of it, hold it into place, and then all you do is cut away. So I should really be showing you guys this, but I can't do that. I'm not that skilled. And then, if you can see, it's a little bit more closer to the edge, which makes it a little bit more circular. And then after you're done with that, you can just trim anything that looks a little bit more wrong. Once you've completed cutting it all out, so I recommend not using fabric glue until you know exactly where you're putting them. So with this one, as you can see, this one's a little bit lower than the rest, or a lot of bit, but you know, but the rest are all similar heights. with this one being a little bit higher. So I want to do similar for this one. It's kind of hard to show, but you have your paw pad around the center, and then your top three almost like a very horrible triangle, with one being a little bit higher than the rest, and then your little pinky one is a lot lower down. I should mention that with the fabric glue it gets quite sticky, so don't do this on your study table like me, because this happens. So now both hands are done, so we can move to the ears. Now I made this one beforehand. All I used was these lovely face masks that I for some reason have lying around the house, even though no one's a builder, and the fluff from the tail. So yeah, don't get rid of the fluff, because I wanted to figure out a way of like recycling what I already had, and this is pretty good. The only issue I found with making this was that I didn't trim it, so this ear is actually quite big on me. Not that big. And also you can see that there are white parts showing. Now to fix that issue, all I'm going to do is cut this a little bit, and I'm going to add some cellophane. Well, not cellophane. This stuff. It's cheap. Now, to begin, get one of these, pull off this thing, and then you take off these, which is usually stapled on, so it's pretty easy to take out. So then you're left with this, just good old thing. Now, usually you can tell that there's a nose imprint, so you go on the edges and then you pull them together. So when you do it like this, it kind of looks like an ear, and it probably doesn't right now, but then pull the top bit. It's kind of hard to explain, but anyway, so when you've kind of figured out how you want it to be done, you just staple it down. Now after you've done the two at the sides, what you do is that you fold the top bit, kind of, and then you find a little pinpoint that just makes it look a little bit more like an ear, so it's got more of a triangular look, and then you just do one more staple, and voila, there's your base. Now this time around I'm going to be cutting away maybe a few centimeters just to make it smaller, because my head is small apparently. So just cut away a little bit so it's a little bit smaller. Now this time I'm measuring it up with my head, so I actually quite like this size and this shape, so I'll leave it like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my fabric glue again, which is working really well for me tonight, and then I'm going to put this along the edges here and along the back, but not on the inside, because the inside will be pink, like this one. Okay, so I've done the first ear. It doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, I'm not a paper mache master, and I do not suggest using the fabric glue because I am sticky, but it will do its little job. So now you put on the fluff. So you just stick this on. It's the exact same process as this. You just use fabric glue, stick it on, move it about, and if it's too long in some spots, you just cut it. Just don't cut too much, okay? So with the glue, I'm kind of just going on each side, so then and stick it over, it gets on both sides. Like, it doesn't show you. You get a little bit of, especially around the points, use a little bit. because if you use a lot, there is a lot. Oh, this is annoying. Okay, so here's a suggestion. Maybe next time I should wear gloves, because now it's all over me. You gotta do the inside, so you do the same process with the tail, except you gotta get some pink yarn, and I got a little bit of fluff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover this bottom area here and the top bit here, and I'm going to use the actual curly yarn bit as the part in there. I'm doing this because I don't have that much yarn of it, and yeah, I don't have any streamers that are pink, but if I had pink streamers I'd probably do the lining pink, and then yeah, pretty much all that. Also, I should probably mention that before you put in this bit, there is underneath here, there is going to be a bobby pin. You could use a clip as well, but I don't have any clips at the moment. So all it is that you just puncture a hole, it goes in one side, and then you puncture a hole the other end, and then you clip it in and it looks good. Now I've just lined the inside and the top bit here. Before I put in this bit, I'm going to decide which side this is going to be on. So this is going to be on my left side, and then I'm going to put my bobby pin in. The way that I do this is that I get the straight side and I stab it inside of here, and then I pull it out about a couple of centimeters in, and then that is the way that I plug it into my hair. You've got to figure out where you're going to do it, but I'm just going to go smack bang in the center, hope for the best. Oh, ow. Oops. Don't do that. So see, I've just clicked it into the middle. There we go. So it goes into there, and then you just pull it up into your hair, and then hey, look at that! I put that in horribly, but yeah, oh shit. Don't do this after you've just glued everything in, because it gets stuck. I can't see. Help me. Okay, wait. No, nope. There we go. So after you've got your bobby pin in, you're pretty happy with the way it sits. You glue this bit into here, and then you're all done. Just to, if you need to fix it up a little bit, you just cut away bits, so then it makes it look a little bit better. And yeah.